In a quiet village, there lived a kind old man who lit a small lamp outside his house every single night. His neighbors would often chuckle, asking, "Why bother? No one ever comes this way." But the old man would just smile and reply, "Perhaps someone is lost, and this little light might guide them home." Then, one dark and stormy night, a weary traveler, lost and desperate, spotted the faint glow. Following it, he found safety. That small act of kindness shone brighter than any lamp. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Leo who found a broken watch on the side of the road. It couldn't tick or talk, but he polished it and kept it safe. Years flew by, and Leo grew up to become the best watchmaker in town. On the wall of his magical shop, that same broken watch was hung. "Why keep that old thing?" people would ask. Leo would smile and say, "That watch taught me patience, and patience built my future." Beside a bustling road stood a little tree named Twiggy. All day long, cars zoomed past and people hurried by, but nobody ever seemed to notice him. Twiggy felt so small and invisible. One scorching hot summer day, a little girl with rosy cheeks, feeling tired from her walk, spotted Twiggy. She sat down right under his tiny leaves. As the shade cooled her down, she looked up and gave the sweetest smile. For the very first time, Twiggy felt a warmth inside that wasn't from the sun. It was happiness. He realized his purpose was to offer kindness, and in that moment, he felt like the most important tree in the whole world. In a tiny cottage, a kind mother gave her son, Leo, a single, precious promise. "No matter how tough things get, my dear, always tell the truth." Leo grew up, and life wasn't easy. He faced grumpy bosses and tempting shortcuts, but he always remembered his mother's words. One day, his honesty caught the attention of the king, who was tired of clever lies. Impressed by Leo's truthfulness, the king made him a trusted advisor. Leo learned that while shortcuts might seem faster, the path of truth leads to the greatest treasures. Once upon a time, in a cozy little town, soft rain began to fall. Everyone scurried for cover, their faces scrunched up, afraid of getting wet, but not little Lily. She just stood there, a big smile on her face. Closing her eyes, she tilted her head back and listened. To her, the pitter-patter wasn't a bother at all. It was a beautiful song played just for her by the clouds. That day, Lily learned that if you stop rushing and start listening, life sounds a lot more magical. In a dusty corner of an old, forgotten house, there lived a piano. Its keys were chipped, and some were missing entirely, like a smile with lost teeth. No one had played it for years. One evening, a lonely little boy named Leo wandered into the room. He gently placed his small fingers on the keys. The sound that came out was clumsy and out of tune, but it was real. As he played, tears streamed down his face, but his heart felt a little lighter. In a cozy little cottage, under a blanket of stars, lived a man named Arthur. One night, his heart felt heavy, like a stone in his chest. His dreams seemed like faraway stars, too distant to reach. He sat alone, counting his worries one by one. But then he heard a sound. Thump, thump. It was his own heart, beating a steady, patient rhythm. In the quiet space between each beat, he found a tiny spark of hope. He realized that as long as his heart keeps playing its tune, the beautiful song of his life isn't over yet. And that, he knew, was a reason to keep going. Have you ever wondered what stories the wind carries? For centuries, a mighty wind named Zephyr traveled across mountains and oceans. He was a lonely soul, carrying the world's sorrows and unspoken prayers in his powerful gusts. One night, he drifted into a quiet village. There, a sleeping child, lost in a happy dream, let out a tiny, peaceful smile. Seeing this, something inside Zephyr shifted. For the very first time, he didn't rush. He softened his voice and sang a gentle lullaby. And in that moment, the world slept soundly, because kindness had turned his noise into beautiful music.